After months of dreaming, my husband and I finally took the plunge and booked our first trip to Maui, Hawaii. It was a long 9-hour flight from Chicago, but the moment we stepped off the plane at Kahului Airport, the tropical air and warm aloha spirit made it all worth it. Without wasting a second, we picked up our rental car, ready to explore paradise at our own pace. Our destination? The charming town of Lahaina, where we check into the beautiful Royal Kahana Resort. And just when we thought things couldn't get better, the front desk receptionist surprised us with a complimentary room upgrade, an oceanfront view that took our breath away. From our balcony, we watched the sun dip below the horizon. It was a perfect start to our island adventure.
Hi! Welcome to Hawaii!
Aloha! After settling into our oceanfront room, we headed out for an early dinner at the local favorite Monkey Pod kitchen. The moment we sat down, we knew we were in for a treat. We ordered a few rounds of the famous Mai Tais and instantly understood the hype. A couple of glasses in, we were definitely feeling tipsy and couldn't stop laughing being on vacation together for the first time in Hawaii. Took a peaceful walk down to the ocean front. We sat side by side, toes in the sand as we waited to sober up. It was one of those unexpectedly perfect evenings, simple, sweet, and full of connection. The next morning, we kick off our day with a hearty breakfast at 𝒕𝒊𝒄𝒌, since I had a serious craving for spam. Fueled up and ready for adventure, we hop in the car and set out for one of the island's most iconic experiences, the road to Hana. I love the tree tunnels we passed through. It's like nature's welcome gate to adventure. Winding through lush rainforests, narrow cliff roads, and waterfalls, the drive itself felt like a movie scene. Somewhere along the journey, we decided to stop and hike a trail that led to one of the many waterfalls. The only catch? I was wearing slippers, flip-flops, totally unprepared for the muddy, uneven terrain. But honestly, that didn't stop me. We laughed the whole way, sleeping a little, climbing a lot, determined to find what was waiting at the end.
We need to jump.
You jump in the water with your sandals in your hands.
Eventually, sweaty and sticky from the heat and humidity, we stumbled upon a secluded waterfall and didn't think twice before jumping in. The water was ice cold and absolutely perfect. Floating there, surrounded by nature, was one of the most refreshing moments of our trip. The hike back was no joke, about 5 miles, and by the time we made it to the car, I was dreaming about ice water like it was gold. Along the way, we passed other group of hikers who had also taken their plunge into the waterfall. Everyone looked just as satisfied, like we all shared this little hidden gem together. Back on the winding road to Hana, we made another memorable stop at the Garden of Eden Arboretum. The moment we stepped in, it felt like time slowed down. Everything was peaceful, lush greenery all around, the soft hum of nature, and the occasional rustle of leaves from birds nearby. What made us smile most? The curious birds that kept walking towards us like tiny feathery influencers, wanting their moment on camera. We took our time strolling through the garden, soaking in the serenity, and grabbed some cold drinks from the small shop on site.
Another winding road.
Once back in the car, we continued down the road to Hana, but I started to feel a little dizzy from all the curves. The road twisted and turned like a roller coaster through paradise, and I began to wonder if we'd ever reach the end of it. As we drove, we passed yet another waterfall this time, with a group of teenagers cliff jumping from the top. It was thrilling to watch, but also kind of reckless. That's when we decided we'd had enough winding roads for the day. A a spontaneous turn led us to Baldwin Beach instead. The ocean there was wild and powerful. The waves crashed hard, making it difficult to swim, but the energy of the place was electric. As I walk along the shore, I noticed people playing beach volleyball, laughing and diving in the sand. Then we heard the rhythmic beat of drums echoing through the breeze. Curious, we followed the sound and found a group of locals dancing barefoot in the sand, moving in sync with the music, completely free and alive in the moment. It was raw, joyful, and unforgettable, one of those experiences you don't plan for, but never forget. As golden hour approached, we started driving back, and the sunset over Maui was simply magical, like a watercolor painting come to life. We wrap up the day with a comforting dinner at Joey's Kitchen, a Filipino restaurant that instantly felt like home. The food reminded us of family. We couldn't help but notice how many Filipinos live in Hawaii, a beautiful blend of cultures that made us feel even more connected to the island. Our third and final day in Maui started with what might have been our best breakfast yet, a full spread at the gazebo, a cozy oceanside spot known for their generous portions and incredible views. After fueling up, we headed straight to 𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒌 Beach, and wow, it was paradise. The powdery sand and the crystal clear turquoise water and the lively energy of the people surfing and sunbathing made it feel like a postcard come to life. I was so excited to finally try surfing, and we went to inquire about lessons, but unfortunately, there was a surfing competition happening and only those with advanced bookings were allowed in the water. Total bummer. But hey, now I have a perfect excuse to come back to Hawaii. My husband, always the spontaneous one, turned to me with a grin and said, "How about parasailing instead?" And just like that, we were signed up. What I didn't expect, that we'd be the first ones to go off.
Are you scared, Danny?
No.
You're not scared. That's good. Hitin natin yung rope. Okay, this is how Elaine celebrates her birthday. Up in the air and down with the sharks.
Felt that adrenaline rush the moment we lifted off, soaring high above the ocean with the beach stretching far below us and the breeze in my face. My husband thought I'd be terrified once we were up in the sky, but to his surprise, I was laughing, smiling, and soaking up every second. Honestly, I felt like a bird, weightless, free, and totally in awe of the view. Parasailing adventure, we chilled on the boat, watching others take their turn, and just enjoyed being out on the water.
Thank you.
Later, we returned to 𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒌 Beach and stayed through the evening, hoping to spot some sea turtles near the shoreline. Sure enough, we did. My husband couldn't resist wading into the water, following the turtles as they swam lazily near the rocks. While I stayed on the shore, I caught a sweet PDA moment, a couple kissing in the waves as if the rest of the world didn't exist. It was cheesy and absolutely romantic. We ended the night with our hearts full of gratitude, knowing this trip would stay with us forever.